Hello everyone, welcome back. Sargad here. Just wanted to do part two to the video I started a week or so ago about collection buying and whether it makes money and what that kind of looks like, and just kind of show you what I do when I'm putting together an offer for a collection, or how I kind of look at card prices when I'm selling cards from box openings. So one of the first things people usually kind of do is they go to a site like Star City Games here, and let's say recently I bought a collection that had Snapcaster Mage in it. The reason I bring this up is because this is exactly what the seller had done. They went to Star City Games. They said, okay, I've got a Snapcaster Mage, Modern Masters 2017. It's worth $60. So I would like to try to get $60 for the card. Obviously, as a reseller, I'm not able to pay $60 for the card. If I was looking to buy it and just play with the card and enjoy it in my collection, then that's fine. That makes sense. But for a reseller, there has to be some margin where I can make money on this card, or there's really no reason for me to purchase it. I also like to go to TCG Player for pricing as well, just to kind of sort of match the two together to get kind of a medium price for it. But as you see here, Snapcaster Mage Modern Masters around $59.99 plus shipping. Some of the stores are not going to have shipping costs. It just depends. Some will have this fee included. It's like you have one down here for $8.99. That's a bit over the top, but this is combined shipping, so this is really geared towards someone coming towards their site, making multiple purchases and paying one shipping cost. But as you can see, $59.99. Over here we have $59.99, so basically the same price. Well, I do most of my sales on eBay. I like eBay better. I feel a lot more protected using PayPal for money transfers, purchases, just more protection, and I like the site functionality better. So let's look up Snapcaster Mage here and see what it's actually selling for. Because again, Star City Games, you can go on here. This is a big website. This is their pricing. This is set by them, and they choose what this is going to be. TCG Player is more driven by what people are going to pay for the card. Because if your card sits at $59 for 5 years and no one's buying it, and everyone else is putting theirs at $56 and they're selling like hotcakes, well then obviously this person's going to need to drop their costs if they want to sell these cards. So it's driven more by what people are willing to pay. Same for eBay here. So if you pull open eBay, what I like to do is just kind of scroll down, hit the sold listings. This gives you an idea, and I sort by most recent. It gives you an idea of what this card's selling for. So here's a Modern Masters 2017 selling for $50. And this one actually had bids on it. So this was people actively bidding the most they're willing to pay for this card, $50. And here's another one, $53, $49.90. Oh no, excuse me. This is Innistrad. We're not going to look at that one. Here's another Modern Masters. Now this is outside of the U.S. I don't usually look at these because the prices are typically different because of the shipping fees are going to be higher. Oh, here's an incredibly low one. A Snapcaster Mage from Innistrad for $28, which is why I kind of shy away from bid auctions on a lot of these more expensive cards because you can get dinged pretty bad. Here's one, a buy it now. This is Innistrad, $41. So just as you can see here, we're kind of going through the prices with auctions that have sold fairly recently. Here's a good example. Here's a foil Innistrad Snapcaster Mage, $87. But if you come to Star City, we see that a foil Snapcaster Mage from Innistrad is $120. Even heavily played is $84.99. And here's one that went for $88. But this is actually we'll humor ourselves here. Take a look. It's in used condition, but still. You can see that the prices kind of vary. eBay is typically going to be lower because this is what people are actually paying for the cards. And this is the price that I'm usually looking at. So if someone has a Snapcaster Mage for sale, I'm going to come on here and say, okay, here's one for $50, here's one for $53, here's one for $53, $49. So I'm going to say this card's worth around $50. I'm just going to kind of put a round number out there, just to make it easy. So that means that the card, if I have the card in hand, I'm going to be able to sell it on eBay for probably $50. So if I was to offer the seller for this card, I typically try to offer between 50 and 60% of what the value of it on eBay is. The reason behind that really is because if I offer, let's say $30 for this card, or let's say $35 for the card, I'll be making $15 on it. But you also have fees associated with using the auction site. You have shipping costs. And then you have your time that you're going to spend, negotiating with the seller. You're going to have to go, inspect the cards, have an actual sit down meeting with the person. You're not just going to assume the cards are good. You're actually going to have to spend time going to meet the seller. Then you have to bring the cards back. You're going to have to take photos. You're going to have to list them. There's a lot of effort that goes into actually selling an auction on eBay. Same thing for TCG Player. TCG Player is a lot less effort because you don't have to take pictures. They just have sort of the catalog you fill out with amounts and condition, which I actually do like. But again, the prices I like and the protection I like on using eBay here. So when you sell something on eBay, you're going to be paying so a few different fees. eBay usually charges around 10% fee for the auction. Then the money goes to PayPal. PayPal's going to charge you 2.9% PayPal fee. They're going to charge you 30-cent transaction fee, and then you have all your shipping costs. So if you sell a card, so if this card sells for $50, your 10% eBay fee is going to be $5. You're going to pay 2.9% fee to PayPal. Now it's 2.9% on the $50, not after eBay fees. Because eBay fees are actually just billed to you, or they're just invoiced to you. So if you had $50 and you're going through PayPal, let's do a little math here. So that's $1.45 plus the 30 cents transaction fee. So that's $1.85 you're paying PayPal. So if you sell the card for $50, you're going to be paying let's see here, $5 to eBay for your 10%, and then you're going to pay your $1.85 to PayPal, and then you paid $35 to the seller, right? So now you're at $8.15. Well, now you have to ship the card. Typically for these kind of auctions, anything that's in the $50 range, I like to do tracking. If it gets up to $100, I'll usually do insurance, but for $50, I want to do tracking. And to send a card protected in a mailed envelope or a mailed bubble wrap with tracking is going to cost you around $3. Basically, you're looking at $2.61 through eBay to send something that's really light like that. That's with tracking, and then the cost of the penny sleeve, the hard loader. We do a team bag to keep the card protected, and then paper for printing, tape, all those other little miscellaneous things. When you round all those up, it's about $3. So right now you're making $5.15 for this card that you purchased for $50, and you paid the seller $35. And that's best case scenario. Most people they don't really want to sell their cards for that much when they can go online and see that it's worth $60. But the reality of it is, after you factor in all the fees and all the effort you're going to have to put forth towards selling this card, to only make $5, well, then obviously you have to get these for as cheap as possible. So you'd probably be in a better range of getting this card for around $30 if you're able to do so. But the ones I purchased most recently, I did have to spend $35 on. So, made $5 a card, not a big deal. That's still money we're making. And the seller had some other good cards in these set as well, which kind of make up for it. It's always nice if you can get many cards worth over $50 to $100, just so you can kind of pile them together and say, okay, after I'm done listing all these and shipping them, I might make $100, $150, and that's certainly worth it. But it's just important to note that the profits are not as high as you would think with these cards that are under $100. Excuse me. One other thing I just wanted to kind of show here. Typically when I'm dealing with sellers and they have a lot of bulk rares, rares that are worth $1, 50 cents, $2, I kind of lump those all in as 5 cents, which is a bit confusing for a lot of people. And the reason being for that is because if you have a card that's worth $2, you go online, you say, okay, this card is worth $2. Well, I should be able to get at least $1 out of it, or at least 50 cents out of it. But again, the reality that is just not the way that these cards sell. Most cards that are in the 25 cents to $2 range, they sell on a website like eBay for typically for $2. That's if they're 5 cents or 50 cents or $1. That's just kind of the way they go. Unless it's a standard card that just released, in which case if they're worth $1, you might be able to get $2.49 or $2.89 for the 4. But typically older cards or really inexpensive cards in the 5 cents to 50 cents range, you're going to get for $2. So what that looks like is if you have an auction that you sell for $2, well, we'll break down the fees here. So if you sell 4 cards for $2, you're going to give 20 cents to eBay. You're then going to give PayPal 36 cents for their percentage and the transaction fee. Then you're going to pay 5 cents for the top loader, penny for the penny sleeve, 3 cents for a team bag to keep the cards protected, and then around 3 cents for an envelope. I buy my envelopes in massive bulk, so it's around 3 cents for an envelope with tape, ink, all the other miscellaneous costs that go with packaging the card. And then you have to put a stamp on the envelope so stamps are roughly 50 cents at this point. So that puts you at around 82 cents for the auction. Well, you also purchase the cards from someone. Now the reason I only pay 5 cents for a bulk card is because if I sell 4 bulk cards together for $2, after all is said and done, take off the 20 cents from that, I get 63 cents for the auction. Usually it's going to be 60 cents because I sell these for $1.99. For whatever reason, it's just more appealing than $2. So you're going to get 60 cents. So if you just take account of all the work that goes into getting that 60 cents, you're going to have to, purchase these cards from someone. You're going to have to list them. You have to take photos. Auctions don't sell as well unless you actually have photos for them. People tend to trend towards bidding on auctions. They can actually see the cards. And then you're going to have to, put the shipment together. You're going to have to package this. You're going to have to stamp it. You're going to have to go to the post office. Unless you have, a mailbox right by your house, you're actually going to have to go to the post office to drop these off. And if you're nickel and diming it and only selling 2 or 3 of these $2 auctions a day, buyers still expect to get their cards in a timely manner. So you can't simply wait for 5, 6, 7 days. You're still responsible for getting these out within a reasonable amount of time, whether you sell 1 $2 auction or 5. So that's why I really only pay 5 cents for bulk cards, because there's not a lot of money in it. 60 cents is not really gonna make you rich anytime soon. It's still money. I still don't mind buying these items and reselling them because you're still making money on it, and I actually enjoy doing this. It is just, I don't know if it caters towards my OCD, just sorting and labeling and shipping and selling these cards, but I actually enjoy doing it. But the profits are extremely low, which is why for bulk rares you can really only pay 5 cents. And you really have to be willing to put in all that effort. Another interesting thing before I end the video here is just kind of show you, so Snapcaster Mage, this is a really stabilized card. We know that the prices are going to kind of sit where they're at right now. But if you look up something else, standard, let's look up Carnage Tyrant. So this card is standard. It's settling. The price is settling, but it's not completely settled yet because it's still new. It's being played. People are figuring out the decks that are in and how strong it is. If we would have looked at a card like this the first week of its release, the prices go up and down. They're pretty crazy. But here we got Carnage Tyrant, $15 on Star City. Let's take a look here. So on TCG Player, looks like we're pretty close to the same. I mean, again, these shipping costs, I try not to look at these. Here's a foil. Wow, that's pretty good foil. I try not to look at the shipping costs because these are catered towards people really making multiple purchases, so the shipping becomes negligible when you're buying 15 cards or so. So we're still in that same kind of ballpark, $15, $16 here. But if you come over here to eBay, pull this card up. Okay. So here's 4 for $44 for shipping. So that means they're about $11. Here's one that just sold for $12.50. Here's one that's for $15, $16, around $16 or so. Here's one for $14. Okay, here's 4 going for $54. So that's certainly a much higher price on these. But you see that it's pretty volatile. Here's that's a foil. Here we go. Here's one for $11.75, $12.95. So you see the prices are kind of all over the board. They're anywhere from $12 to $15, $16. So pretty consistently, when I see the price of a card going from $12 to $15, I'm gonna put it at the lower end of the spectrum, between $12 and $13, because that's probably what I'm gonna get for it, around $12 to $13, because I'm not a big eBayer with 100,000 feedback. So it's just kind of interesting to see that, even with the new cards, they're kind of volatile. On this website, we have them, $13 and $6 shipping, $16 and $3 shipping. So this is essentially an $18 card. Over here on Star City, you got around $15, which is interesting because typically, Star City is a little bit higher on some of these cards, but 15 I think is a more realistic number. And then eBay, you've got it just kind of all over the board, anywhere from here where you're getting 4 for $11 a piece, or down here we have people paying $12, and I believe up here we had another one that was what, $14. There's 16 plus dollars. So it kind of bounces around. So you kind of have to take sort of arrow towards the lower number. Anyway, I think that's probably enough on the topic for right now. Just kind of some interesting information for anyone that might be wondering how much money do you make on selling these cards. Are you making $2 a card? Are you making $15 a card? Because a lot of people just don't really understand the amount of effort and money it does go into actually selling these cards, just with all the fees and shipping costs and everything. But anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed just kind of listen to me ramble on about selling cards and prices and these different websites here. If you guys enjoyed the video and you hit the like button, let me know you enjoyed it. If you want to see more content like this, let me know in the comment section. Hit the subscribe button. I do try to get new videos up every day, and we'll see you guys in our next video.